What are you doing? Probably stand here.
This is Cross-Border Love in the Time of COVID, a story of romance growing through a loophole in the US-Canada border ban.
Okay.
Linton Harris is a Canadian, Julie Arps, American. They connected on a dating site in April during the pandemic.
So you had a good day?
Yeah, it was busy.
Unable to cross the border, though they lived just a short drive apart, Julie and Linton spent a lot of time on their computers until they found out they could meet here. And that's when online became in love.
After the first couple of weeks or so, I was kind of... I fell in love with her, you know, so... and I knew that she was one I wanted to have, so...
And I fell in love with him within the first couple of weeks as well. It happened so fast, and we just spent hours, you know, talking about our lives and our families and everything.
On the map, it's black and white. This park is in the United States, but in practice, it's a shade of gray. U.S. Border Patrol allows Canadians to enter the park freely, and when they cross the ditch to go back to Canada, the RCMP simply makes sure they're Canadian residents and not carrying contraband. This makeshift international zone is no secret. Even on what regulars told me was a slow day, there are lots of couples, families, friends from each side of the border getting together. Or wishing they could. Kaylin Ball lives just a few blocks away. Her fiance, Dave, lives in Baltimore. They met long before the pandemic and made those long flights back and forth.
Yeah, so this was on our first date. We went to the Baltimore Aquarium. We just had like the best first date ever.
CBC was there back in July when they got together in the park.
Yeah, I'll travel across the country and sit in a park for 3 or 4 days just to be with you.
Under the new rules announced Friday, long-term couples can get together in Canada, but that still requires a 14-day quarantine. And back in July, Kaylin and Dave weren't sure when that might happen.
It was really hard to say goodbye after that.
Well, I was going to say, what was the goodbye like?
Lots of crying.
Of course, the rules about not crossing the border freely have to do with reducing the spread of COVID. And so we asked people here about that. They say that whether it's maintaining their distance in the park or keeping within small bubbles, they can meet here and do it safely.
Both of us are very careful in our bubbles, in our own communities, and I only see my immediate family, sons and my dad.
My company, we've kind of split shifts, so I basically work by myself, and I don't think I can be more careful than I am now. And apart from Julie, I don't meet anyone else.
We asked the federal health authorities about this quirky exception, but they said, ask the RCMP. The Mounties consider their role here security, checking IDs and bags. And so, this park is where family and friendship has somehow prevailed over the usually stark border rules. So when you look around here, and I know you don't know the people who are here, but as you look at these groups of people, what do you think's going on?
You know, I think so many people have lost hope or have been a little crushed during the pandemic in some way. And for many people, this park is their one hope and their one chance to see the people that they love the most. And, you know, I think that's a really special thing in times when there's not a lot of good news.
Sunset means long goodbyes. It's when the park closes, and that keeps getting earlier. As Julie and Linton waved goodnight, they plan to meet again in a couple of days and wonder when they'll be able to go home together.